Welcome everyone to, I think this is episode 11 of Learn with StreamYard. My name is Christian Karasevich. I'm the content marketing manager at StreamYard, and I'm excited to welcome you to live stream reviews. I think I actually said Learn with StreamYard. That's another show we do on Fridays, actually. So live stream reviews, where our goal is to help you improve your live stream. And that could be answering a question. For example, I get audio feedback when somebody joins, or I get echo, or I don't know how to use a feature. So our goal, as I mentioned, is to help you. So what we like to do is we like to invite you on to the stage, basically, to join both Leticia Campbell and myself and learn more about you, who you are, what your show is about, and then also what your question is. So I'm going to go and bring on Leticia. And I will say today we actually have, I'd say this is a short show. It's 2 hours actually, right, Leticia? So
Yes.
it's shorter in nature because normally we're sometimes 3 hours, 2 hours
4
and 45
hours.
minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
So do we have a topic we want to discuss with viewers first?
Yeah, absolutely. So, early this morning, I was thinking about a topic for today, and we had several topics, right? But I really want us to talk today about how it all began for you and I, Christian, when we first started going live. And I think sometimes we forget about that, to go back to the basics of where it all began, because you and I first started live streaming before all these other platforms started providing streaming features, right? So I think this would be a great idea for us to go back to the future, as we say, and just talk about our journeys.
That's a good one. So let's do you want to start with that? Actually, do you want to take that one?
Absolutely. So I started off my live stream, I call it career, my journey back in, I believe it was 2015, 2014. I think it was late 2014 with Google Live, Google Hangout. And when I first started streaming, really not that many people were watching. My overall goal of streaming was for the people who are going to watch in the future. And I think we forget about that part. We always look at it now, like I only get a couple of people watching now. I only get a few guests hopping on now, but we don't really think that this content, this video that you're sharing is going to be your virtual resume, right? Is going to be your virtual timeline. So people can go back and say, oh, Leticia, I remember when back in 2015 when you were streaming in your car or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how I started off. It was really for the purpose of just me getting content out there, me getting comfortable with speaking in front of the camera, me getting comfortable with the topic that I wanted to discuss and share with the world. So for me, it was more like the long game, not the short game. And I feel like now a lot of people are really focusing on the short game of live streaming, not thinking that in 2030, people are going to go back and watch this video that you did. And maybe you were the first to talk about a particular talking point that now is being revealed or launched in 2030. You get what I'm saying? So it was really for that for me. And like I said, I started off basically trying to get comfortable with the camera, trying to get comfortable with what my niche that I was discussing. So it was huge for me back then. And then after that, after the Google Live happened, then Periscope came out, you know what I'm saying? And I just went crazy on that platform because I really like that one. And then now we're venturing over into Facebook Live, YouTube Lives, StreamYard, so that's how the journey was. And I have to say, for me, it was really more about the long game. I wasn't just thinking about today. I was thinking of topics that people are always going to be discussing forever.
Definitely. No, really good points, actually. And, I can echo some similar sentiments. So like when I started, and it's funny, I actually reconnected with a couple of people from way back in the day. I was using Google Hangouts. I was actually producing before Google Hangouts, for live streams, actually. So I was producing way before that. And then I got into Google Hangouts. I was helping produce a show there where I was basically providing the social media news updates for the week. I was working with Plus Your Business with a friend, Martin Shervington, and Stan, and I think his name's Brett. Actually, we were talking like SEO and whatnot. It was really awesome. And we were, at the time, it was interesting because we sort of had the virtual green screen background option.
Oh, wow.
They would roll out we were like, oh, hey, let's do something like for Halloween or things like that. And we had they had started to roll out some of the features you could put on, basically like a hat
Yes.
or sunglasses or things like that. So we were using that. It was pretty cool. Like, just I have to always remember that because um,
Yes.
shortly after that, that's when I started my own show, Social Chatter.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I moved into Blab, and then Blab, folded, and then I started just moving between different software, and then I
Mm-hmm.
finally settled on StreamYard, and that's because for me, it's all about the pillars: ease
Yes.
of use,
Mm-hmm.
stream stability,
Mm-hmm.
and professional streams. And here's the thing: I was doing this. I had already been doing this, and I wanted that when like Google Hangouts closed, and then the other platforms started to kind of shift. And
Yeah.
so the key thing for me, I'll be honest, was the stream stability and ease of use. I mean, I was able
Yeah.
to stream. I've been able to stream from around the world on
Exactly. Yeah.
internet that was not always the best,
Mm-hmm.
and I marveled at how well StreamYard held up.
Exactly. You
Because
definitely
when you
did. Yeah.
it wasn't choppy. Like, if you look at some of my shows, like, you'll see me, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not obviously not in the setting. I was in like hotel rooms and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And you will, and you will see that like I still was able to stream, and I don't know
Yep.
how somehow it worked. It was
Yeah.
magic, and I was like, this is awesome.
It's
So, and
awesome.
I've been
Yeah.
StreamYard user ever since.
That
Um,
yeah, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that. Like we have to go back and think about those things sometimes because from then to now, there was a lot of times where we probably gotten discouraged. There was times that maybe we
yeah,
took a little hiatus for a couple of months and all those things. And for me, especially, I doubled down on live streaming back in 2017. And when I'm talking about Christian, I doubled down. I started going live 3, 4, 5 times a day because during that time 2017 January 2017 I was like, I need to leave my job. I wanted to be able to stay home with my kids, but I wasn't a guru at Facebook ads or things
yeah,
like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to show up more than my competitors are. So I just started to just double down on just showing up live, coming up with different topics, test. That's another thing I think. For me, I just tested topics out. I just threw it out there and saw what stuck, and then I
mhm,
just kept on talking about the things that people, mostly gravitated to. Even if it was one person that commented and said, "Oh my God, this was a good piece of advice," you know.
yeah,
I
no,
didn't wait till
definitely.
5 or 10 people confirmed. I just said, if one person get it, that 1%, let me just
Mhm.
hit the ground running with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
Hmm.
here's the thing. You need to be trying to you need to be trying to build a community. So, you can be the like ones and twos type of person where,
Hmm.
you get 1 to 2 people to join your stream, but you need to be
Mm,
working towards a greater goal. And to
that's right.
Letitia's point, I mean, when you look at and I will say this actually, I think the first point I should make is that if you're just starting out, it doesn't matter if someone else has been on for 5, 7 years and whatnot. It doesn't
Nope.
matter because
Nope.
everyone starts their journey at a different point.
Exactly. Amen
So,
to that. That's a
it's
mic
not
drop.
when you get into live streaming, or let's see if I can get this quote right. Maybe you can help me with this one, about like, it's not when you get started with live streaming, it's when live streaming gets like, it's when you get started and you're honest like with yourself about your business and the direction you want
Hmm.
to take it, and you put the effort in. It goes from being a
Exactly.
hobby to something that that you are serious about. Like, it
Exactly.
becomes ingrained, I guess, in you, that
Hmm.
live streaming, so don't worry if you're just getting started with live streaming
Yep.
with your journey. um some people, they will hit the ground running. They will find their niche. That's Niches, by the way, are really important.
Yep.
I have a friend, we always chat, and he's like, we're like, the riches are in the niches.
Niches.
And so, don't be, you know, don't go into it thinking like we talked about this last week, Leticia,
Yep.
about just redefine, like, further filtering down what your goal is and who
Mhm.
you're trying to reach.
Mhm.
So, for example, if you're into real estate, for example,
Mhm.
I will say this: if you're into real estate, you're doing live streaming, you need to be
Mhm.
doing a lot more than what most people are doing for live streaming for real estate.
Mhm.
There's some really cool things you can do. I mean, you can do virtual house tours, like, you can do personalized ones. I mean, there's so much that you can do beyond just, hey, here's a property. You can take people on that tour with
Exactly.
you, and you
Mhm.
use your words to help them.
Yeah.
So, I think we're ready to kick things off, right?
Let's kick it off. Yeah, guys, definitely hop on. And I did put the link in the comments. And if you have a question, please feel free to type in #ask so we can
Yes.
get to your questions. I mean, this is a really, really good topic today. But again, let us know, hop on this panel, and we can definitely help you create the best live shows.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
another couple of points here real quick. So I also take feature requests, and these are StreamYard feature requests. So if you have any feature requests, just use #feature in your comment. And this way it helps me quickly go through the comments because I'm pulling out the feature. Leticia's pulling up the questions that you have. So don't forget to do that. Awesome. Actually, let me see if I can. There we go.
Yes.
So I know we got a couple of comments here real quick. And I think you shared the link out, right?
Yep, I did. I'll do it again.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Alejandro, I see Alejandro is backstage with us. If you want to come on, the only thing we ask, so turn on your webcam, and then in the backstage area, just type your question in the comments. And what we'll do is it helps us basically, when you come on. So that way we know exactly we know roughly what you're going to ask.
Exactly.
So we can get to them faster. Okay, cool. So one question, I will say this while we're waiting for people to join. One question. So Michael was saying Leticia sounds louder than I do, than me, Christian. I'm not sure if you all noticed that. Just let us know. So just leave us a comment on that. Okay. So let's see something. So let's see what questions we
There was
here.
a really good question I want to hop to that Shoshana asked. She said, where do you see the next evolution of streaming moving into?
Okay. What do you think?
I definitely think, segmentation is huge. It's really big. It's like another awesome feature that StreamYard offers is having our videos and also the actual voice, the actual, MP3 part of your streams and adding that to a podcast. So I feel like that's a huge evolution that I feel like not everybody's, including myself, is really taking advantage of, to really take your content and put it on different platforms and have it as voice and have it also as videos and also chopping up the greatest parts of your lives. I just started doing that just recently, of just taking the best parts of my content and just chopping it up and posting it. So that evolution is big. Another big evolution, in my personal opinion, even though this is a struggle for me to even come to realize, is taking live events and making it virtual to the point to now where people are really highlighting the virtual more than the in-person because the way the world is going. So even as things open up more, people are still sort of leaving towards having that virtual feel, and now creating a new method of virtual events to where, Happen had an amazing summit the other day, how, the live events, not trying to make our virtual events the same experience as the live events, creating a new experience for the virtual event. So I had to sit back and think like, okay, I know I want to do in person, but then I got to think of the overall experience, the hassle it takes for people to want to fly out to see me in person. And it's just, that's another thing that I have to consider, saying, how can I have that another type of experience virtually versus in person? So that's, to me, that's the evolution that's still sort of evolving, especially for us as entrepreneurs.
I think it's a good point, actually. So I think for me, I see the next evolution of streaming moving into two things. So the first thing I think is going to be having basically, augmented reality. So basically, I think you're going to have product placements. You're going to have virtual product placements. That's the next thing I think is going to happen. And because it's sort of already happening. Like, for example, if you're a Snapchat user, you can pop up the camera, and they're a camera company. So they have all these features where, like, for example, I can put on a filter of a hat, but I think it's going to get into selling a virtual hat that you can put on that has, maybe it's a blank hat and they slap a logo on it. Maybe it's a t-shirt. For example, I've got the StreamYard hoodie on right now, but maybe it's going to be where, like, I'm able to have a standard hoodie with, the StreamYard logo placed on there, for example. That's the first iteration that I think we're going to see. And then the other thing also that's going to be really big is, to your point, hybrid events. So we're moving from, and this is a great thing. I mean, we're moving from just live streaming to having virtual events. So a virtual event would be, taking your live streaming efforts and moving it into an actual conference.
Mm-hmm.
And so what most people do is they would attend a physical conference. And the problem with attending a physical conference is that, well, for starters, it's a very, very, very big expense for
Yes,
someone.
it is.
They want to go attend
Mm-hmm.
a conference. It's like, oh, it's thousands of dollars. And then, oh, yeah, like the networking is the selling point. But it's like, well, I can network with people online if I do a
Exactly.
good job at it.
Mm-hmm. And
So
actually get a bigger impact from doing it too. Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
time is the key thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Time is the absolute key thing because you can't get more of it. And so that's where I think it's going to move into virtual events. And then after that's going to move into hybrid events, because
Mm-hmm.
if you kind of take where things are at right now, people went from physical events to virtual events. Sorry, they went from physical events to live streaming, then to a virtual event where basically I'm having some sort of conference or a summit or something like that online. And then I think the next is going to be the hybrid after that. And that's because I don't think you're going to get a lot of people that are going to, like, to your point, a lot of people are going to struggle with being in person again.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, I think they're realizing, hey, there's a lot more time I can save by not going somewhere. And then the other thing they're going to save is, you as the business, you're going to need to have a hybrid event because you're going to have people that are not going to travel to your events. They're not going to trust it. It's going to take them a while, I think, to get back into the trust phase.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, it's another thing. Even with the event host, there's another large expense that we have to pay as far as making sure there's hand sanitizers, making sure that if the guest doesn't have masks, that we have an inventory of masks. So it's like it's a lot of factors more than just guests coming. It's like we got to pay for all the events, the swag and everything else, but also to make sure that everybody who comes is safe. So it's like, it's a lot. So that's a great question, Shoshana, because that is the evolution of live streaming. It is back then when people say, well, nobody's going to come to a hybrid event. Like hybrid, they think of hybrid cars, but events, no.
yeah.
And look how far, Christian, that, in the past, year has happened, now everyone's starting to consider that,
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I know we got a couple people waiting backstage. One thing I want to mention real quick, if you're backstage, just do us a favor, enable your webcam, and then let us know what your question is in the chat, in the private chat, so that we can be sure to address it. We just want to know what it is beforehand, before we bring you on. And we want to be able to see you because we want our viewers to be able to see who you are and learn more about like what you do. What do you live stream about?
Yes.
Okay, so
we have a question from Scott.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and bring it up.
Yes. He said, how to reduce the echo feedback. Will headsets work? Absolutely. That's one answer to it. How about you, Christian?
Yeah, definitely wear a headset. I would say everyone should wear a headset. So for example, if you're on a mobile device, wear a headset. It will dramatically improve the quality of the audio. I will say it's not going to be great on mobile, but that's also because, for example, if you're not, for example, if I've got a mobile device and I'm not plugging into a headset, I'm talking into it like this. There's a mic on the front and there's a mic on the bottom as well. And the thing with that is it's also like sort of a listening device. So it's listening around you. It's going to sound good to you, but when it goes out, it's not necessarily going to sound good. So I recommend plugging in a headset with a mic. That's going to get the mic closer to you, to your mouth. So that's the first thing. It's good. So it's going to, like, if I'm talking into it like this, by the way, if my audio goes down, it's because of the type of mic I have. So if I do this, it's focusing the audio as opposed to I'm speaking into it like this and my sound is projecting all over the place. So, and there's different mics picking up different things.
Exactly.
That's going to be the first way. And then if you're in the same room, so it depends on how you're using your camera. Like if you're trying to use like two cameras, for example, like a laptop, like a webcam and an external camera, and then you're like using this as another camera angle, you're going to want to actually plug in a headset without a mic into this because it's going to, like, just pushing the volume button, for example, is not going to actually mute your mic. No. You need to trick the smartphone by plugging in a headset without a mic on it. If you have one with a mic on it, what's going to happen is, unless you cut the cord, you're going to get feedback because this mic would be open and this mic would be open, and that's going to create your echo. So I hope that answers your question, Scott. And if you're on a computer, same exact thing. Make sure, for example, that you're connected correctly. Like, for example, I use a Rodecaster Pro, and if I plug in my headset into the back panel, because it lets me plug into like channel 1, for example, I'm able to hear everyone else except for myself. And then if I plug into the front, I'm able to hear myself and everyone else. So I have to make sure that I'm plugged into the right thing. So if that doesn't answer your question, let me know, because I know echo cancellation definitely or echo can be an issue for some people. Don't forget, there's also a setting under cam mic and then under audio where you can enable echo cancellation as well.
Mhm.
I don't know. Do we want to? You want me to show that real quick?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
Let me pull that up.
sometimes so they know exactly where it is.
So let's do that. I'll pull that up real quick. Let's see if there's any comments, by the way, coming in as well. And remember, this
Oh,
show is all about you. It's not about us. So
yes.
we want to help you. So we want your questions. We want you to come on screen with us. Okay, so let me know what you hear,
Yes.
Leticia.
Well, I do see a feature request from Brian. He said, I commented yesterday on the idea of adding a second camera as an option in the shared screen selection. This adds
Okay.
multi cameras in house and for upcoming. I'm sorry, and for unboxing without
Yep.
feedback.
Okay, so what you can do actually, Brian, so bring that question back up actually, because I
Yeah,
saw
sure.
that actually. So I saw it last night. So Brian, so if you want to add a second camera, the way that it works is you got a couple options. You can actually set your smartphone up on, say, a little tripod,
Mm-hmm.
and then all you do is you send the StreamYard guest link to this, and then you're able to have your second camera. Now, to get rid of that feedback you're talking about, you do need to plug in a mic. If this is in the same location, same room, you plug in a mic and you have to trick the device to turn off the mic. What I
Yes.
just said a minute ago, like just pushing this volume knob on the side, even though it says it's muted, it doesn't actually mute. It's the same on the MacBook Pro as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tested this. You actually have to plug in something in there. So, for example, you have to plug in the adapter that then has, or even the headphones, plug in without a mic or cut the cord on the mic. Because, as I mentioned, if you have a mic like this one and then you have a mic on this one, like even if it's a headset, because it's plugged in, that mic is still open. And so that's going to cause your feedback. So, what that's going to do when you send yourself the guest link, it's going to then bring you backstage, and you're going to see your camera and you're going to see your second feed. So that way
I
you can
see.
do unboxing videos. Another way also, by the way, so that's an easy way of adding a second camera. Another way is to use something like an ATEM Mini Pro, and that's a switcher device. It's a physical switcher. And so I'm using one right now. Like I'll just push the button. It won't actually show anything else. Actually, you know what? Let me actually hook this up real quick. If you guys give me one
Yes.
second, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I got my iPhone. So what I have is I have an iPhone. I have my ATEM Mini Pro. I have an HDMI cable running from the ATEM Mini Pro because it does HDMI. I
Mm-hmm.
have this adapter. So that's Lightning with HDMI and power. And I'm just plugging in. Can't actually show you guys this part. Here we go. Then all I'm doing is plugging in HDMI cable. Very simple. That's going into my phone. And then let me just actually pull this up. And so this is going to go into my phone. And let me just show you this real quick. And so then, and this will work with an iPad. It'll also work with an iPhone. You can also use the switcher for Android phones as well. All you have to do is actually just plug in the device. And then here's what it allows me to do. So I can just quickly switch to, I'm going to pull up my camera. This is just how I use this. I can switch directly to the StreamYard. For example, I switch to my phone, and then I can rotate it, for example, as well. And I can flip through that. So, so that's how that works. So that's
That's
using the
awesome.
ATEM Mini Pro, actually. So that's another option you can go with as well. And granted, that one's a little more expensive, but that does allow you to switch between 4 cameras, actually. And there's a lot more stuff that the device can do.
That is
So,
awesome.
okay, let's go through some of these questions. By the way, Rosita, I see Rosita sitting, waiting backstage. Do me a favor, just turn on your camera, unmute your mic, and then we'll bring you on.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'm
You're
going to let you
on.
just sit there until that. Okay. What else we
Yes.
got? Yep.
And actually said, my church wants to do our service live, but the sound seems to be distorted. Why is that? We
What
have
kind
been
of
doing.
what kind of devices are you using, Ann? So like
Yeah.
we need to know. Actually, I would love if you would come on. Actually, Ann, that would be great.
That would be perfect.
If you
Yeah.
could come on, like we can talk. I want to talk through the issue, not just give you like I'll answer the question, but I don't want to just talk around it. I want to actually learn more about the setup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the sound could be distorted because of the device. It could be the potentially the internet, for example. There's a lot of different things that could be there. So um, let me just put a link there. So
Yeah, put that down there. Yep. We have an amazing comment. She said, just want to thank you both for your helpful information.
yeah, took the plunge, took the
Just
paid
took
version.
yes. Yes. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Adam
Awesome.
said that he has guests that refuses to wear headphones, earbuds during the live stream. Constant struggle with feedback. Not StreamYard's fault though. Yeah,
And
they gotta wear them.
let's keep that up real quick. So I want to talk
Yeah.
about that topic, by the way, as we're waiting for hopefully Ann will join us. You know, if like one thing you need to do as if you're live streaming for your business, you know, there are a couple of things you need to work to do. And that's you need to be building a document that you send to every single one of your guests.
Yeah.
So this document is there are things like, and it could be as simple as a Google Doc. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. It's just a list of requirements. So,
Yep.
for example, like for example, what are some of the things? What are some of the things people need to be doing? So, for example, you know, hey, before joining my live stream, we'd love to have you, you know, do a couple of things. So, for example, would be like wear headphones, use, you know, if you have an external camera, use your external camera as opposed to your laptop.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you, for example, are going to be on camera, what a lot of people do is they position their laptops down in front of them and then they're looking like this. And so,
Yeah.
first off, it's going to give you some neck pain.
Yes.
Second thing is the camera angle is going to be looking up at your nose, and you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be, it's going to look weird. So, the best thing to do is like provide, you know, maybe a screenshot of like, hey, you know, if your webcam looks like this, here's how, you know, get a stack of books, raise your camera up so that you're eye level and encourage them to look into the camera, for example. So, little
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Encourage them to arrive 15 to 20 minutes ahead of time, minimum, to
Yeah.
do a sound check. So, for example, Leticia and I, you know, we do a sound check. So when we join, we do a sound check. We check if there's any audio issues. You know, it gives us that time to restart a computer if we need to.
Mm-hmm.
Other things, encourage your guest, for example, to join via a laptop, not a mobile device, because mobile devices, while they're portable and convenient, they're also not very the Wi-Fi on them and the internet signal is not always fast.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
if for example, if they can plug if they have really bad internet, for example, you want to try to fix that, and that's like restarting the router, restart the computer, plug into the router.
Mm-hmm.
So it's encouraging your guests. So your document you send them could have that. It would also have obviously the standard stuff, like what are you going to ask them?
Mm-hmm.
So it would have the questions. I'd also include a section on promotion.
Yep.
So, for example, I know Leticia, you and I, we talk about this. We do a pretty good job with it. I think is, you know, I
Mm-hmm.
know we have an Amazon Live show that we do, and
Yep.
like we're out there promoting it every single week, and the
Yep.
two of us are promoting it. It's not just one
One
person doing all the
person. Mm-hmm.
promotion. You know, if it's, for example, if you're co-hosting a show, both of you need to be trying to share it out. You have different
Exactly.
audiences. The other thing also that I think is important as well is uh, to encourage your guests to promote the show.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, you know, you really shouldn't, they shouldn't just be coming on your show, leveraging your audience and doing nothing to help promote your show.
That's right. That's right.
So,
That's
like,
important.
absolutely key. And back to your other point, Adam, about feedback on headphones, another key point about that is, you know, remembering it's not the software's fault. It's the fact that if somebody's not wearing headphones, as I mentioned, like the mics are different. When you put a headphone on, it goes, you know, right here to your mouth.
Yep.
And so it's close to your mouth versus, you know, people are going to do this or they're going to do this on their phone, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing as well. And so you're talking and here's what's happening. It's hitting this, for example, and it's coming back.
Yeah.
Or the mic is, you know, this mic is listening, this mic is not, for example, you know, so it's just some little basic
It
things.
is important. Yeah. Because the whole
Yeah.
purpose of like people gotta understand it's voice. We're talking, people are listening, and want to make sure the sound is clear, that there's no background, there's no echoing. I know some people feel like, well, if I wear headphones, it's not going to go with my, as one guest, I didn't end up having her on my show because she was really focused on the headphones is white and her outfit is this color. And I'm just like, okay, you don't need to be on my show then. Like, people care about what you have to say more than just about what you're wearing. So I kind of get what you're saying, what Adams was saying to Christian, where people like refuse because of like just reasons that are just like not even that important. It's just like, okay, you don't need to be on my show.
Well, yeah, and you have to also think of it like this: if it's your show, and people are, if it's your show and people are not like, you're not asking for a lot. I'm not asking for the person to, run the whole show. All I want them to do is come on for, 30
they
minutes.
Just show up. You were doing everything else.
Be respectful of like, here's the thing. This also kind of goes into if you're like, well, hey, how do I reach more people? Network. How do you network? I go on people's live streams. I reach out to people. I talk to them. I get to know them. For example, I met Leticia on this show. And then we've been doing 11 shows of this, and we got some other really good things happening.
And more. I'm excited.
Here's the thing though. Like it's give and take.
Yes.
So for example, if you're going to have somebody on your show, like let's just throw this out there. Let's say like Leticia like came on and like she helped me out, but then like, she didn't like, let's say, oh, well, yeah, like she's going to help me out. And then like all of a sudden it was like, oh, she's just going to show up and we're not going to have any conversation or dialogue.
Yeah.
Do you want to necessarily have that guest on your show? It represents your brand. That's
right.
So you need to think about that, about like, if people are going to come on, you can't rule with an iron fist and be like, hey, you know what? You have to share this. Like, people are not necessarily going to do it. But when you do actually help someone out for a show, they're going to be more likely to recommend you to other people.
Exactly. That is true.
Yeah.
That's happening to me.
Like, for example, I'm going to be on Amazon. I'm going to be speaking on Amazon Live at an e-commerce summit coming up. And the person sent me, they sent me the information to go share it out. And I put it on my list of, these are things that I need to do. I need to share this out. They said, hey, can we have you record 10 to 15 minutes with us? Yes, I'll do that. Things like that to help promote the experience. So, by the way, Maria, feel free to join us back stage. I saw you pop in. Join us again. We'd love to have you on. Let's go through some of these questions. Let's see. So, here's a really good question, actually, from right after Adam, actually. John Truncalls saying, I'd like to hear ideas to help guests feel more comfortable joining your live. I have a few people that have lots to share but are shy. So, Maria, I'm going to take John's question and I'm going to bring you on stage. Okay.
Hey, Maria. I would have to say to that is, I always tell guests who are shy, I said, just pretend it's just you and I having a conversation, and it's like, just like if we're talking in Starbucks or someplace, and a lot of times when I say that, it makes it more comfortable where they're not so much focusing on the comments that are coming in and what's being popped up on the screen. We're just having that conversation. And then also I let them know what's the outcome from this. Like, the outcome is like, your name is going to get out there because I'm putting you on my platform, putting you in front of my audience, and you're building up more awareness. You're helping more people. A lot of people don't know about business credit. A lot of people don't know how to do keto. A lot of people don't know, how to be fashionable, on a live. So it's like, when you talk about the outcome, then it become more easy. I think the shyness comes from, oh my God, live streaming, y'all, is just like public speaking. I mean, type in one if y'all agree. Like, it's just like public speaking. I remember when I was in high school and my teacher had me do the graduation speech, and I was like, oh my God, I just want to sit out in the crowd with my cap and gown. I don't want to talk. It's just that thing of like, you're sitting and like hundreds of people are just looking at you. And that's how it feels when you hit that go live button at times. It's like we get caught up. And even still this day, every show that I do get nervous before I do the show. But then I say, like for this show, for example, Christian and I now calls it hashtag LSR. I'd be like, I'm just having a chat with Christian. You know what I mean? That's how I see it in my brain. I like trick my mind to not think so much that there's six people watching or more. I think about where I'm just having a conversation with Christian. This is what we're going to talk about, and this is what the talking points on. Another thing that's so important is planning.
Yeah,
it's planning. well, before any show that Christian and I do together, we have a meeting about it. We talk about it. Same thing for you. Like if you have a guest coming on, the guest is going to be more comfortable when you do a pre-show, or I call them production meetings, and you talk about, this is what we're going to go over. Oh, I think it'd be a great idea if you bring this up. Or, okay, when I say this, then you bring that up, or you add this to the screen. So now the guest is going to be more comfortable because they're prepared. That's another reason why some people say I'm shy. Really what you're saying is that you're not 1,000% prepared about the show. So when somebody reaches out to me, like I had a young lady reach out to me and she's like, Tisha, I would love for you to host a show. Okay, I need details, because not only do I need to know the information or what's expected of me, because I know when I show up, I deliver. But another thing is that I want to be prepared. So I'm not sitting here and it's like, okay, what are we talking about? And what's the show about? You know what I'm saying? So that's important. Yeah.
Well, and you and I talked about this actually earlier this week. We were talking about, and guys, I know you're probably not going to, like, some people might be like, well, hey, I'm not going to wear makeup. Like, for example, we talked about wearing makeup on live streams.
That was a great live.
We didn't talk about like, oh, like, like you have to think about like this. Everyone that you see on TV, male or female, for example, if it's a news station, they've got makeup on. If I'm a guy, like I'm putting like powder or something on my face and things to like, so that, there's not this big glare, so that it looks like really good on camera. They're not applying a Snapchat filter, an Instagram filter, things like that. They're just, they're putting on something to highlight certain features of the person, for example, or if the person's really tired looking, they're doing things to cover like the bags under their eyes. So, but we talked about that, and here's the context we were talking about this in. And it was the fact that when somebody's going to come on screen, it's them being prepared to do that. So it's getting them to, like, if you're going to be recording this, and it's going to be live on, pretty much forever on all your social channels. Because when you delete it, it doesn't just get deleted. You need to also look professional. So if you're pitching things for your business or doing things for your business, dress for success. And that includes, doing the makeup, for example, maybe changing your clothes, things like that as well. So,
and it shows your audience that they care. I mean, social media is judge a book by its cover. It is that way, so those things are important. Okay, so let's hop onto some questions here. I think Maria's figuring out her mic.
Yeah, and Zahid, I see Zahid's here, which is great. Just need to turn your mic on, Zahid, and then just let me know what the questions are that you have. So let's see. I actually have a couple of questions I want to bring up, actually.
Sure.
So let's bring up, hold on. Maria's back. Hold on. Let me see if Maria's going to come on.
Yeah, let's see. I got it on here.
Okay, Maria, are you ready to come on?
Thumbs up.
Okay, so we're going to bring Maria on. Let's see how this goes. And then Varasong, I think hopefully I said your name right. I will, I'm using the 810 Mini. Just send me a direct message and I'll send you what I'm using. Okay, Maria, how are you doing? You're muted, actually. Can you unmute your mic?
Yeah, you got to unmute your mic.
Mic option on your video. You just need to tap unmute.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. There we go. Maria, hi, how are you?
Oh, we can't hear you, sis.
Turn the volume. Let's see if the volume's turned up on the device. Looks like you're on mobile. Okay, now you're muted. Okay, let's see. So do me a favor, Maria. Let's have you on your device. Let's push the volume rocker. So that side button, for example, push the volume. Let's increase that and see if that fixes it. Your mic's on, but I can't actually. Let me see if I can change your mic. Yeah, I can't change your mic volume. For some reason, it's not on. Okay, so do me a favor, actually. Just how about this, Maria? Just go out and come back in, and we'll see if that fixes it. Sometimes you do need, like, if you have a headset plugged in, that might be even the best thing. Plug a headset in.
Bluetooth.
Yeah, I'd probably recommend wired, but plug a headset in. Maybe your device is connected to a speaker or something, but we'll bring you back in a minute. Okay. Okay. So we'll figure that out with Maria. We'll get her back on. So I want to, so Vrossing asked what the switcher is I'm using the A10 Mini, the A10 Mini Pro. Actually, there's 4 of them. There's one that's $300, one's like $600, one's $900, and then they have a new one they just came out with, which is like $1,400. But it's literally one of them is like the full size keyboard. So that's what I'm using. But if you have other questions, just send me a private message, and I'll let you know what it is. Okay, so we have a question from Valerie. Is it okay to communicate via email with guests rather than having another meeting? Leticia, you want to take this?
I like to have meetings with the guests. I just prefer that over email communication because stuff can get missed through email sometimes. Like I have a scheduled meeting with a young lady this afternoon, and she didn't get the email, so I had to send it to her messenger. But again, like what's keeping you from having like a Zoom or something just to have a chat with them,
or even just a StreamYard? Actually, you can just join
exactly. Yeah.
You don't even have to like go into an actual recording. You can just join
exactly
a new broadcast. Like I have one set up for just meetings, and so everybody joins.
Yes.
Talk, nobody records, and then I close it.
Exactly. Yep. And you could actually send them the recording after in case they miss something. Instead of them having to ask you the same question over and over again, they could just go to the recording and they got everything. It's just, you want the person to be as prepared as possible. It's your show. So you got to look at this, is your brand is on the line. You know what I'm saying? Your image is on the line. So you want to make sure, that individual who's showing up is fully prepared for the conversation, and more.
Definitely. Yeah. And I'd also say this. I mean, as far as communicating by email with guests rather than having another meeting, the other reason why, so it's very easy to just fire off an email or a text message or things like that, but things can get misconstrued.
Yes,
and
that's true.
Sometimes it's best to have a phone call. But now you just want to, I mean, you don't have to have a long meeting. Like, for example, Leticia and I meet for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that long. Yeah. No, it's not.
The key thing is to go in with the agenda of what the talking points are going to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only thing I would send to the person via email would be, I'd send them a calendar invite, or I'd send them an email with the questions that we're going to cover. And then we have a quick 10, like they can process them, think about them. And then we have a quick 10 to 15 minutes. And then we just shoot right down the questions. And maybe like, have you ever been to a homeowners association meeting or a PTA meeting? There's always an agenda.
Always.
And the agenda makes sure that the meeting runs on schedule. If you just go over like with email, for example, one of the big things I run into with email a lot of times is if I don't email that person very often, or I have never emailed them, my email will not get to their inbox. It shows up,
right.
In their junk or their spam folder or things like that. So also I want to pull up Alpha's comment here. And Alpha says, good planning helps great execution.
That's right. All the way.
Feel free to bring that up if you see that actually. There we go.
Good planning. Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, definitely like you can communicate over email. Just know that, email has gotten a lot more smart than it used to be. And so like you used to be able to just randomly email people and it would get delivered. But now if people have never interacted with you, the email platforms like Gmail, for example, things like that, they have things in place to automatically filter your email based on the interactions you do with somebody. So for example, if you don't interact with them very often, they may put it in your primary folder, or they may put it in your, advertising folder based on what they read in the email.
Absolutely.
Let's see what else we got here. By the way, I hope you all join us on stage. I mean, we love it when people join us on stage. So, Albert, by the way, let's wish Albert a happy birthday, by the way, apparently.
Happy birthday, Albert. Happy birthday. Yeah. Don't get me started singing.
You can sing, huh?
I don't want us to get flagged.
Actually, I think happy birthday is actually not copyrighted anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Albert.
Okay, so let's see.
What sign is that? Well, we're in, I don't know what sign that is. Someone asked me the mic that I'm using. I'm just going to spell it out for you guys. It's DSCHLZY. DSCHLZY. That's the mic I'm using.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And as far as mics go, I would say this. I mean, use an external mic if you can. You do have to think about the situation you're going to be in for your mic.
Very
For
true.
example, I've got a desktop setup right now. So I don't do a whole lot on mobile from that perspective. I use mobile almost as like a like stay on top of things, but
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily as a full on like do everything on mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I actually use, so for example, for desktop, I'm using a Shure SM7B, but I also have a mixer as well that I go into. And then I also have a pair of these. This is the Rodecaster Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Rodecaster. These are the Rode Wireless Go, actually. So the way they work, pretty much I can clip one on here. I can plug this into my smartphone or my camera. And the benefit here is that now I have a wireless mic. And you can work with these on desktop or mobile as well if you want to use those. These are the Rode Wireless Go. Okay, so Ahmed is asking, how can I add my phone and screen? By the way, I'll pull up some comments, Leticia. Let's
Yeah,
send them the link to join us on screen.
absolutely.
Hopefully, people will take us up on this because I mean we only do this once a week,
That's right.
and it's all about you. So we want to see, you want to learn more about your stream, ask you some questions, all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically we're giving you free help pretty much. So how can I add my phone and screen? Okay, so Ahmed, are you asking how to add your phone screen to StreamYard on desktop? Are you asking how to share your screen on mobile? Let me
Which is
know.
it?
I need a little more clarity on that. I can recommend
Mm-hmm.
both ways, but I need to know a little bit more. Going
I
back to
think.
other,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
go ahead. No, what were you saying?
No, I was pulling up a question.
I actually was pulling up a question as well. So go ahead. You
Oh,
go
go
first. No, go
ahead.
ahead.
Ladies first. I think Rosita, I'm sorry I'm pronouncing it. Rosa.
Sure.
She was trying to get on. She said, yes. What mic is what's a good mic? My suggestion to
Budget.
that is
Budget. Let's talk budget.
budget. Okay. Depends on your
So
budget for one.
it's going to
Yep.
depend on your budget for starters.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have to look at, are you going to be mobile? Are you going to be on desktop primarily? You have to look at it like that because you can't, for example, this mic that I use right now, it's the Shure SM7B. I
Mm-hmm.
can't just plug this. For example, it doesn't plug into my computer.
Yeah.
I have to have an additional audio interface to use it, to connect it to a
Mm-hmm.
computer. And so here's what we're talking about. We're talking, I think these mics are like $400, and then an audio interface can be between $150 and $600 on up.
Mm-hmm.
So but it does give me better sound, more options, all that sort of stuff. However, if you're, for example, just getting started, one of the mics we always like to recommend, we like the Samson Q2U.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically it's a tabletop microphone. And here, let me see if I can bring this one up.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Is if like for example, if I'm on my balcony, you know how my setup is. It's like New York City, trains, planes, automobiles, all the things. What mic would you suggest for that? You can't obviously we can't eliminate the noise, but how can we lower it a little bit with what type of mic would you use for that?
So that's one thing where for example, you're going to hear people recommend the Blue Yeti, things like that. And I would not necessarily recommend that for a mic. It's a good mic for gaming, and it's got some dials where you can change things, but it takes up a lot of space. And if you're going to be outside, it's not a portable mic necessarily. It's portable, but it's not portable in the sense that I can't just for example, I can't just pick these up and move around with, I could pick these up. These are pocketable versus the other one you actually have to physically pick up and move a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say for something like that, I personally like maybe the Shure MV7. It's about $250 for a mic. But sorry, hold on. You're gonna be outside. Let's think about this.
Because the weather's getting warmer.
I almost want to say a lavalier mic. Maybe the Rode Smart Lav, or honestly a pair of these, the Rode Wireless Go, because you can actually plug in a lavalier mic into this as well. So I could be wireless. You could plug one into a computer, one clips on, and then I can plug the lavalier mic. And the point of plugging the lavalier mic is to get that mic right next to my face.
Got it.
So then that way, as I speak, it's actually going to work pretty well, I think. So I'd recommend probably something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you guys. This is the Samson Q2U. So the Samsung Q2U is, let's pull that up. So it looks like this. This is about a $70 microphone. Now, what this
Mm-hmm.
one has on it, which you and I talk about this quite a lot, Leticia. So for example, it's got, and I want to show you this. It's got a USB connector. It's got a headphone connector, so you can plug your headphones in. You can hear what you're
Yep.
saying, and
Yep.
it also has this XLR connector. So the best thing about this is you would start with the USB option. This would plug directly into a computer. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure you get the right cable, and then if you want to grow with this, you can connect via XLR, which is the industry standard, and that would then plug into an audio interface. So I would recommend something like that. And as I mentioned, it's portable. It has a mic stand that comes with it. It's here's what it might look like if you connect it to a mixer. You get pretty much everything you need. You can get the USB cable. I mean, you get a stand, you get a foam like cover as well to help improve some of the noise. And there's your setup right there. So it's very clean, very easy. So I'd probably recommend something like that.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And guys, we are putting the share link in the comments. Someone asked again. I did put as just its own link. So just click that. It'll bring you right on the show.
Okay, so let's do this. Go ahead and bring on Britt. And then go ahead and bring on Britt, actually. Britt,
Absolutely.
Good to have you. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime. Your mic sounds good. Okay, so what mic you're using? I'm gonna take a guess. Let's see. What do you got there? Okay.
Here,
so I don't have to guess.
I do the same thing. Don't worry about it.
It is
so, but
Elements.
Okay.
So
I want to highlight a couple of things though that you have there. So for starters, you've got that foam windscreen over the top. The good thing is, like, as you can tell, your sound sounds really good, like as you speak, right? The other thing you've got a boom arm, fantastic, and then it looks like you got a shock.
I also have one of these windscreens too.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. Yeah. So bring that other one back into the shot. So you've got this phone. There's a pop filter, by the way. This is for plosives. For those of you who are watching and don't know about that, basically it removes some of the like the P's, things like that. It filters that. If you want and if you want the cheap version of that, the cheap version is to buy you have to buy it. You take a metal coat hanger and you put a pair of pantyhose over the top of it, and it essentially creates the same thing.
Doesn't look great on screen though.
No, absolutely no. Very good point. And then the other thing I want to mention, you've got headphones on, and it looks like I think you got a green screen behind you, right?
I do. It's a little muted right back here. I don't have as much light as what I should, but yeah, I do have a green screen.
No, definitely. I was gonna say, because your right shoulder looks really good, and then I was like, oh, I caught the left, and I was like, I actually thought you were in your living room. I was like, oh,
I know,
nice.
right? Well, and I have my lighter stuff here, so of course it's got the little bit of a thing. I just didn't have it completely up yet. It's early in the morning where I'm at.
So do me a favor, actually. Can you show us that as well? And I want to show these to people because I want to talk about what these are. So tell our viewers what that is.
So this is basically just to help put the light where you want the light. Like I always have this little corner down where I keep this, which is always a little bit not lighted because it's in a corner of my house. And so I usually just have a side light with that. I have a ring light for on one side of my computer. And then I have another side light, which is a little bit softer light because I still I match my green screens to where I'm at. So if the light is coming from this direction, I try and match my green screen to that side. And, so the door on this side makes it look like I have light coming from this side. So I try and match those up a little bit, but then I use that softer light and I use that illuminator, basically is what I call it, for this corner to make it so it doesn't look so sketchy.
Yeah, no. And that's a really good thing because basically, so what she has is this reflector, and you've probably seen these in your car. They look like a car reflector you put in your windshield. However, they make a couple of different ones. So for example, one side of that is shiny. The other one I think might be white, right?
It is.
And then there's even ones that are gold on one side. And the way they work is, people angle them to fill in light on a side. So for example, if Britt came on and let's say half of her face was not lit enough, what she can do to give the appearance that it's lit is she can either have somebody hold this. So if you've got kids or, teenagers at home, you want to teach them something, you can have them work on reflecting that light. So you're basically catching it and bouncing it off with the reflector.
Or you can
So
use scripts like I do on a tripod.
yes, yeah, even better. Yes, exactly. So lots of like, it's a really easy thing to do. How much is that, by the way?
That I bought at Best Buy for like, I think it was like $20.
Yep. $20.
Mhm.
And they fold up usually, you know, so they're not like, oh, I don't have, if you don't have a lot of storage space, it's great to fold it up and you can just put it in the closet and just bring it out when you need to. But
Yeah.
very good product. Okay. So thanks a lot for joining us. What question do we have today?
So I am looking at doing a more of a group live stream. So
Okay.
I'm looking at approximately 10 people. And what
Okay.
I'm going to do is it's going to be a little bit more of like ta-da, I'm bringing somebody in and all of these people get to listen to them and hear them speak, but it's a mystery. So what I also want to kind of do is also have something of a little bit like a meet and greet type thing. And so I want to know with 10 people, is there a template out there so I can get my graphics done correctly? And then I also want to know, can I bring 2 people up on screen together so they can ask each other questions versus just one? And can I move them around?
Sure. Leticia, do you want to take these? Start with this one.
Yes, well, absolutely you can. As far as a graphic, I mean, Canva is a great resource to use. I mean, there's tons of templates on there that you could just pop in their pictures and things like that. As far as how you want the show to the layout to be, I would probably do a run through first with the guests on and see how that works and how that all gels together. So that way,
to be, it won't. It's like it's an impromptu. They win this prize to get in there. I won't be able to do a run through. That's why I was kind of, and Canva doesn't have a template for 10 people on a StreamYard.
So I'll throw out a resource in the comments, by the way.
Yeah.
So I actually worked with Easel.
Mhm.
So like there's a whole, so I'll tell you right now, there's a whole bunch of templates that they actually did create for free to use. If there's one that you need that's a 10-person template, I know that we have a coordinates document we can send you where you can build that.
Yeah, I have Photoshop, so I'd be happy to build it. I just need
Oh,
it.
cool. Yeah. So I can send you the coordinates. I might even have a mock-up. So if you just do me a favor, just send me an email, marketing@streamyard.com. And just put in the subject, like, you know, and when do you need this by the way?
Oh,
Is it
April.
like, oh, good. So I can give you to like Monday or something like that. Okay,
yeah, no, not tomorrow.
Okay, or today. So do me a favor, send me an email, marketing@streamyard.com. What I will do is I will then I'll send you the stuff that I have, and I can also make the introduction as well to some people who build that sort of thing. So
awesome.
Cool.
So that would work.
Cool.
So it'll still work. So everybody else will still be able to behind the scenes and see everybody that's talking and hear everybody that's talking, even if they're not up on the screen. And I don't have to be up on the screen anymore to have those 2 people up, correct?
Right. So actually, so another thing you can do is there's it's called sort of like voice of God mode.
Okay.
I mean,
love that.
But maybe we should call it voice of puddles. That's the mascot. But voice of God, basically that's where like you're able to talk over top of everyone without actually being in the stream. So the way that you pull that up is so go into your StreamYard broadcast. You go to the cam mic settings, and then you're going to see under audio, or let me find it actually. Sorry, under general, there's the audio avatars feature. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to uncheck that. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do that right now, Leticia, while we're doing this. So I might disappear for a second. So I'm going to uncheck the audio avatars.
Watch this afterwards.
Yes.
So this is just look at like 58 minutes in, by the way, 58, 59 minutes. So I'm going to turn that off. Now I'm going to stop my camera, and you know, normally I would be in the stream. So I'm going to stop this. And now I can talk. So that way the 2 of you can have your conversation and I can be essentially.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you want me to, let me see if I can bring this up. I will show you.
Yeah, bring it up so we can see which setting you're checking off.
Okay. So let's try this out.
Because I've never been off the screen. I'm normally always on the screen, even though there's 2 people talking, but I like the suggestion you made, Britt.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so kind of nice because like this way
Okay, so I'm going to put myself back on screen. Switch my camera back on. Actually, I really just could have just put the camera back on. There we go. Okay, so let me go ahead and share this screen, and then you'll see exactly what I'm going to do here.
Mm-hmm.
The right one.
And just a quick side question, with
Yeah, sure.
sharing the screen,
Yeah.
can you also have all 10 people still on and share a screen at that same time or no?
Yes, actually, because I did that the other day. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me just make sure I get the right screen pulled up. I think it's that one. There we go. Okay. So let me show you this. Okay, so basically what I did was I'm in like a test StreamYard broadcast right now, but so I went into a broadcast. So I went into this broadcast called test. I went to cam mic, I went to general, and then what I did to enable voice of God or voice of puddles, whatever we want to call it, this was checked. Okay, so this was initially checked, right? And so if I was on screen like this, I wouldn't be able to necessarily do that. I have to be in the stream,
You
right?
have to be in it. Yeah.
So what I did was I went into cam mic, I went to general, I'm going to uncheck audio avatars. I'm going to now stop the camera and you're going to see a message that's going to appear at the top. You're in the stream with audio only.
Only. Got it. Got it.
So that's it.
Okay.
That's all you got to do.
Cool.
Make sense?
I totally dig that. That's
Now,
awesome.
you had another question, I think, and I think you were asking, how do I move people around? Was that the question?
Yeah, well, and especially being like in the tenfold, you know, because I'm going to want, you know, me and one person up top at all times. So am I going to be able to do that in that aspect?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to bring this up so like everyone will see basically this stream. So if I want to be able to bring people, like, let's see, hold on, you can't see that. Hold on one second. Sorry. I'm going to pull up the test stream again real quick. So basically, you can move people around. You know what? Maybe I'll tell you how it works. So the three of us are here on screen, and the way that I can move people around, I simply just drag the person.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're going to have 10 people, you're going to have different views up here.
Mhm.
And so like Andre, I'm going to add you in real quick just so so people can kind of see this, and I'll mute your mic just so we don't get feedback. So we've got Andre here, for example. And so let's say I switch to like this view, for example,
Okay.
and I want to have, you know, you and like say you're on the side, I can put you there.
Okay.
This
Makes
is
sense?
cool.
I dig that. And so that'll work with 10 people then also.
Yeah, you'll have 10 people. Yep, you just move them around. So
Perfect. That's
very
fantastic.
simple. Andre, I'll bring you back in a minute. Yeah.
So is there ever going to be a way to be able to like move your logos like that? So like I don't have to make a Photoshop template for every single screen that I want to do, and so I can continue to talk while I'm moving stuff around instead of having the blondness in me come out and go.
So I can put in as a feature request. I mean, just you know, just because
That'd be
we
a good
do get
idea.
that, but the things we do try to also do with StreamYard is we try to focus on our pillars, you know,
Sure.
stream stability, ease of use, and professionalism. And so
Which I appreciate most
we
definitely.
do take consideration when we're building something to make sure it's easy for people to use, that it doesn't become complicated and cumbersome. Because as you do add the ability to move things around, it does then change based on, like, it's like building a website. When you
Sure.
build a
Yep.
website, it doesn't work the same across Google, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Opera, like, and so you need to make it available across those. And so if there's no standard to it, then it,
Yep.
you know, some stuff works, some stuff won't work.
True.
So,
True.
but yes.
Awesome.
This
Well,
is
you guys have been great. Thank you so much. No, this
You're
is
welcome.
saved me so much time, and this has been fantastic. So thank you.
Anytime. So remember, check out about 59 minutes if you wanted to see how to actually go enable that. If you don't have, and don't forget, email me marketing@streamyard.com and just
Will
tell
do.
me in the subject line, you know, just say like layout templates or something like that. Okay.
I will do. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Nice
Anytime.
meeting
Thank
you.
you.
You too.
Bye, Brett. Awesome. That was so much fun.
That was really fun.
Okay, so
I
know we
didn't
got a
know
lot of
that. I
questions
learned
here.
something new.
we get a lot of good questions. I mean, and I love teaching people this. So John Steinbrink asked, I love my StreamYard and live reviewed. However, it's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so how about this, Scott? Just email me marketing@streamyard.com and just put in the subject line live stream review, and just tell me that and give me a link to your broadcast. And we'll do our best. We'll check it out after the fact since it's at 7 p.m. So we'll do it after the fact if that works.
Yes.
Okay. So Brian's asking about picture in picture. Okay, so actually, the way picture in picture can work. So for picture in picture, you would need to have something possibly like the ATEM Mini Pro. And the reason I say that is because you're going to need the ability. It offers a picture in picture feature. So let me actually go ahead and bring that back up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got this. Let me see if I can. I'm going to try to get this right because I don't use the feature very often. Let's see.
Yes.
And feel free to I think it's this. Oh yeah, I got to enable it, and then
This is cool.
oh, you know what? Actually, you guys can see it now. There we go. So I'm going to move my camera up. So this is actually, I'm not even using my phone, but I think I could switch to my phone in this case. Let's see. Yeah. So this is me. This is picture in picture. So it has the ability to do picture in picture. So I could have, for example, my screen pulled up. Here, let me turn this off. Actually, I'll go to my phone screen.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, let me go back to my phone screen real quick. Okay, so I could have my phone screen pulled up, and then I think I can do picture. There we go. Yeah. And then I can move this around, for example, on my live stream. So does that make sense? That's using, though, an ATEM Mini Pro. So I'm using hardware to do this.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but it does work. It's pretty
around with
awesome because then, yeah, it allows me to do a whole lot of really cool stuff. So that's how picture in picture, you can do picture in picture that way. It's not built into StreamYard to be able to do picture in picture because you basically have to have a separate camera feed and the hardware is doing that. Okay, so let's. Mart was asking real quick about clean HDMI on the phone. Yes, actually, that does give me clean HDMI. So for those of you who don't know what clean HDMI is, just because you can plug it could be an iPhone, it could be a camera, it doesn't matter. Just because you can plug this into a computer or a switcher or any of those kinds of things, clean HDMI is where you have a clean feed. Like right now, there's nothing in front of me. If I plug in certain types of cameras, some of them do not have clean HDMI. And what they will show at that point is they will show like the information. If I plugged like a DSLR camera in, they might show things like my shutter speed, my ISO, my aperture, things like that. And some of those apps don't have clean HDMI on them. So you need to keep that in mind. So it's going to, in this case, it's going to work just fine. But some physical cameras like a DSLR may not have that option. You are going to want to research that before you buy a camera. I could tell you, like, I've got some DSLR cameras and they don't, like the one I'm using right now. This is my Sony mirrorless camera. I've got a Canon one as well, and that one does not offer clean HDMI. So therefore, if I brought it up, it would have all this stuff on screen. Another app that I like to use, Filmic Pro. Filmic Pro is also, it's a $15 app that offers clean HDMI as well. It's a fantastic app, by the way. It's I use it on the iPhone, so definitely check that out. Not Slim One, by the way, feature request asking about hotkeys and Stream Deck integration. Yep, got that. It's on the feature request list, so appreciate that. Mart asking if we can do that on Android, USB-C to HDMI. Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, if you go through the physical switcher, yes. So going through the ATEM Mini Pro. Okay, so let me see what else got here. Andre, I'm going to bring you in 2 seconds. Let me just go through a couple more questions here real quick. Another question from Mart. You guys are awesome. I love how you actually take on random questions, which you don't have any firsthand knowledge why their audio doesn't work, and still tackle these random questions. We're genuine. So happy to help. I mean, I love doing this. So I hope that shows. Let's see. And then one last question, by the way. This one's asking about sometimes the headset ends up making more noise. What could be the cause? Okay. So the first thing I would do is if I come into my live stream and I'm hearing noise, the first thing I might do is I'm going to check my cables. So for example, smartphones are notorious for this. If you're bringing a smartphone on and you have it near like your stuff, like your microphone, things like that, it's not always shielded properly. And so you may get interference. And that'll be like it might be like you hear like a little bit of noise. The other thing that can also happen if you have cables and you got a lot of cables running around your office, that can also cause issues. If those cables are not shielded, what will happen is they will end up, causing interference on your line. The other thing it could also be is if I'm somebody who, let's say, I got a cheap pair of headphones, a very cheap pair of headphones. Headphones can cause interference based on the connector that you're using. Sometimes you have to just unplug, plug back in. A couple other things as well. If you get noise, sometimes people will, like, let's say I had a zipper on this. Sometimes people will put their microphone right next to the zipper, and that's actually hitting against the zipper. And that's the reason why I do a sound check beforehand.
Yep.
I'll give you an example. Like on my show, Social Chatter, that I do, I had somebody come on and they had a headset on, which I was great. I was thankful for that. But the problem was they had a zipper on their hoodie. And so I had to ask them, I was like, you know what? We need to move either take the hoodie off because you have the zipper right there, or we need to change the placement. Ideally, I'd prefer them to change the hoodie to more like one like this that doesn't have the zipper, because otherwise there's the potential that it runs into it and then it's going to create noise. And then lastly, the other thing is just sometimes you need to just leave the stream and come back in. Sometimes that'll. So very cool. Okay, so let's bring on Andre.
Yes.
Feel free to bring on Andre when you have a chance.
Hey.
Oh, nice sound.
What's going on?
So I'm getting a mono sound, by the way, on your. I'm getting feedback. I'm hearing it on this side, but not this side, actually.
Yeah, me too. I'm hearing on this.
Give me a second here.
Yeah, sure.
It could be something on my end.
It sounds good. It's just that I'm hearing it. I'm hearing myself in both, and I only hear you on this side.
Let's see.
It's both sides now.
That's good.
For me.
That's good now.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're good.
Okay.
I hear you on both sides now.
Okay, I had to check. So let me take these headphones off. I feel like my head is big when I wear those headphones. Like I got a big head. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Great.
I'm good. I'm good.
So tell us, who are you? What do you stream about? And what your question is?
So I'm Andre. I stream about. I have a show. So I do a live stream with my show. I just talk about different stuff. Stuff that helps people, rather, whatever it may be. I'm a podcaster. I have a podcasting business. I teach people how to podcast. I do editing and stuff like that. But I stream a lot, and I'm one, like, I'm a junkie. Like, I'll buy stuff that I don't need. Like the amount of mics I got here, my wife's gonna kill me when she found out I bought another mic today. But
so what mic are you using? You're using a Shure SM7B, right?
Right now it's the Shure SM7B, but you know what is equivalent to this, I feel, is the
MV7.
Shure SM58.
Okay, yeah. I have one of those, yeah.
Yeah.
So and I have SM58, by the way, for our viewers who are watching, it's a handheld microphone. It's about $100. So it's a handheld. So it's like that Samsung one that we showed earlier, the one where it plugged into a little tabletop stand. It's like that. It's a very good $100 microphone. $100.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, that's a very good mic. It is. Cool. Here's the key thing, though. It is XLR only. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. If you get that mic, it's $100, but then you're going to have to buy not the cable. Cable doesn't matter as much. You're going to have to buy an audio interface to connect it, to then connect that to your computer.
Yes,
so,
yes.
That's why we recommend the Samsung if people need a USB mic, because it has USB and XLR. But Shure MV58, good choice.
And that Samsung sounds real good too.
Yeah,
that Samsung, that ATR 2100, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I use, like I was saying, I use a lot of mics. I use a lot of different things. So when it came to streaming, I was using like three or four different streaming software. Just to feel them all out. Yeah. And what I found was I like StreamYard better because I did like a point tally. Which you get a point for this because I can do this with it. I can do that with it. So StreamYard came out winning by, I would say, about 4 points.
Yes.
Everybody else was behind like history, So I'm using StreamYard now. I still use other stuff just because for stuff I want to do that I can't do in StreamYard. but for the most part, StreamYard hits it on. It gets 9 out of 10 times. StreamYard does it for me. There's sometimes
Awesome.
where I have to use another software just because I got to move stuff around, move people around,
Of course.
stuff like that. But for the most part, StreamYard does the job. It's so easy. My wife doesn't have to ask me because she goes live. She don't have to ask me anymore. How do you do this? She understands it very easy. It's great because the other stuff she just don't get. It's just like I'll sit down. Oh, Andre, I can't do this. That's because you got to turn it on. Just stuff like that. So StreamYard, love it. So what I was doing is I was doing templates, and backgrounds and stuff like that. So my question was, I wanted not so much as a question, but I wanted to try to where would I get the templates for every possible scenario when you're on StreamYard. So because it's going to take some time. I know it's going to take some time because I'm going to have to do each template for each different scenario. But I've done like 3 so far. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out where I can get, because I guess I can get 10 people on here and just say, come log on. I want to see this template, what it looks like. But I'm sure there's somewhere I can get it from. But I was wondering where I can get it from because I plan on making some different templates for for backgrounds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so good, very good question actually. So first off, I would the way you can do it yourself, like i.e. right this second or even this weekend, is you can send your StreamYard guest link to, if you have 10 devices, for example, send it to 10 different devices. Yeah. And then on yours, you can bring them in kind of like right now we have, I'm just going to bring Valerie in here real quick and then we'll remove her. Like, for example, it could be like the 4 of us just like this. So then you could just do a screenshot. That'd be one way I would do it. However, the other thing I would also do is if you email me marketing@streamyard.com, in the subject, just put in StreamYard templates, for example, or StreamYard. Yeah, just put StreamYard templates. Just tell me just tell them, hey, I spoke with Christian on live stream reviews, and tell me what you need. And I actually have those, so I can actually send those out.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And there's one thing I wanted to say that you guys touched on, and it was a great point. And I was like, these guys, you guys know me so well. Like, it was like you're reading my mind. When I do have guests, on the show, it is a whole process of getting them on the show. Like, it's just not take the link and go. Like, the first thing I do, I make sure they have a quality mic. Make sure it's they have a good camera. If they don't, I send it. Oh, so I'll send them a mic. Not so much a camera. I mean, I got a couple of cameras, but if they really need it, I'll send them a camera.
That's nice.
But I make sure I do that. But most of the time they're fine. And I also go through, depending on what type of interview it is, I do let them know some of the questions that I'll be asking so they can better prepare them. I also have them days in advance. We go through it like a walkthrough, like we're really doing a show. And I take them through my introduction. I tell them, there's going to be an intro, this and that. I'm going to ask you this and that. And it really does make them feel a lot more comfortable. It does. Because half the time they just don't know what to expect, and they don't know if they're going to be put on the spot. And that's just it's not a good look for your brand if somebody's on there.
Because people know, they know when it's like.
Yeah. Yep. I had a guest, the first guest I had, he had wireless stuff. Everything was wireless.
Yeah.
Headphones and stuff.
And that's one thing people need to remember, by the way, using Bluetooth on a live stream.
Yeah.
You should, it's convenient because, for example, I could take my AirPods and I could just put them in, but you have to remember, so these, for example, any of these kinds of Bluetooth devices, they have latency. So meaning there's a delay. Okay. And so what will happen is I will put these in. So there's quite a few reasons why I don't recommend wearing Bluetooth headsets.
I agree.
For live streaming. So the first one is this. There is a delay. It's a slight delay with Bluetooth. Second thing is if you've ever connected these to anything else, to a phone, a tablet, a laptop, they can disconnect. At certain points, they will actually stop working because like if they get to like 30%, they have a feature built in to where they go into low power mode, which then makes it hard for you to actually use it. Now, the other reason why is, as I mentioned, if you've ever connected them to anything, they also cause issues there. And then the other thing is these are designed to sound good to you, the listener. So, for example, I put these on and they have microphones all around this. So they're actively listening to improve the sound quality to me. But then you have to look at it on the flip side. So, like, for example, if Andre or Leticia are on their end listening, they hear something completely different from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that gets annoying.
So
Yeah,
you got to keep that in mind. That's why, go ahead.
It's funny because when I first started podcasting, I was editing my podcast with these and everything sounded bassy. So I'm like, well, let me take some bass out. And when you listen to it on a car, totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different. And then, even with the wireless stuff, it sounds like this. Like if Bluetooth can go wrong, you'll start sounding like this. Hello, my name is, and I'm going for, and then and it's just bad, that. But the only wireless things I trust is what you have. I got these two, this wireless Go, and it's like, if I didn't marry my wife, I would have married these because these are reliable. I like them, and I'm with you, man. Like we're on the same page here. I really like them. So that's cool.
By the way, the new Rode wireless goes. These are the old model. The new ones are like even better. Like they let you have two pairs together. They can actually, you can go like a few miles away and they're still gonna work, which is crazy.
I'm gonna get me those for sure.
They are good. I with these I did. I think I went 200 meters or something, and it was just I was in the park. Straight line of sight, and it was good. So those other ones they're probably like amazing.
Wow.
And they are going to seem pricey. I will say that they're going to seem pricey, because I think these were like $200 maybe or something. The new ones I think are $300, but they do, you can use them with a computer. You can use them with a smartphone. You can use them with a digital camera, a DSLR camera. Like you put one on top on the camera, and you have one on you. You can talk to them. They even have a feature where if you want a handheld mic, you could actually put one of these inside of a handheld mic and it basically is like a prop and it's in the mic and it's still able to be a wireless mic. So
that's awesome.
It's just the small things that people like. The little small things will like really help. Like, I got a cloud lifter.
Yep.
And I love that thing, man. Like I have a DBX 286, which you don't really need a cloud lifter if you have it, but I have it. And I like it, man. It's just it's awesome, man. It's awesome. It does the job. I rarely do any editing afterwards because it's like it has for those who you probably know what it is, but for those who don't know, it's like let me show you here. Like this here, it's the gray one.
Oh wow.
And once you have it set up, it pretty much you're good to go. Like you don't have to edit all of that stuff. And, it's pretty cool, man. But, I love this stuff. I love talking to you guys. I love listening to you guys. You guys do an awesome job.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate you just giving your time because I've learned a lot from you guys. And they say you never stop learning. You really don't.
Yep, amen.
Because, I've learned a couple of things on here today. So thank you. Like, thank you so much. You guys are the best, man. And I appreciate you very much. Very good.
Awesome.
This is the type of stuff we need, what you guys are giving everybody.
Thank you very much, Andre. We really appreciate that. And feel free to join us. We do this every just about every Saturday, actually.
Yeah.
There's like one day a month we don't do it. So
we'll do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for coming on, showing us your setup.
Thank you.
Go
I
Giants.
appreciate you guys. Yeah, you like it? You a Giant fan? Yeah.
I'm a Viking fan. Sorry.
You like Vikings? Well, I'm not gonna be mad at you because I like Vikings. Everybody's okay for me except for Dallas. So I hope it ain't the Dallas fans. Right?
I'm not gonna start that.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. And have a good day. Okay.
You too.
Anytime. You too.
All right. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Awesome. That was really cool. Okay, so I know we got Valerie has a question here as well. And we got, by the way, just a heads up, we got about 35 minutes left in the show. We are gonna have a shorter show this time.
Yep.
So we got about 35 minutes. Let me just run through some of these questions real quick. So Johnny has a question. How can we share audio files without screen share? So the screen share feature right now only lets you share a video file. What I might actually recommend doing there is I would actually go into a video editor because right now it only does video. I would go and I would bring in like maybe a static image. And then like if you're using like Final Cut Pro, for example, bring in your static image and then add your audio track and then save it as a video so that then it comes up. This is a little trick here. You bring it up as a video, even though it's just a static image with the audio. That would probably be maybe the way I would do it for right now, because we don't support audio directly yet. In addition to that, you can also always drag your video to like a browser tab and share it that way as well. But that's the trick I would do. I would open a video editor, a Final Cut Pro, and Adobe Premiere, even like I think Wave.video, things like that, or maybe even Canva actually. Open a video editor, drag a solid image into your project, drag it out across the full length of the audio. Sorry, first thing I would do is, well, open new project, drag the audio in, and then on the top of it, so that you merge the two, drag a still image and just drag the timeline for the still image so that it matches the same length as the audio. Export it as a video file, and you got your video file.
And you said Wave.video is one resource?
I think Wave.video will work. Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk. Okay. Yeah. I'll send you, I'll check that out actually, and we can see if it works.
Okay.
So
I want to try that.
By the way, I always love it how, Leticia always, I love how she's taking notes on our show as well. And I can't encourage people enough. I mean, take notes if you see things that are like, hey, there's a tool or there's a feature. Okay. So we got another question here from,
Coach
Mary.
Erica.
Can you pause the recording? So the answer to that is no, you cannot pause the recording. This is if you're using the StreamYard feature. So for example, instead of, you have two options. I can go into StreamYard and I can live stream out to Facebook and YouTube Live. And if I'm approved for LinkedIn Live, Twitch, Periscope, and so on. However, and you will get a recording at the end, by the way, as well. When you stream out to those channels, there's a download option on the plans. But if you want to just record, you don't have to select any of the destinations, and you can say skip and just record only. However, it's a consistent recording. So when you start this recording, let's say you make a mistake, what I would recommend doing is I would just keep going and then do my clipping afterwards, maybe in like QuickTime on Apple and things like that. So that's how you can use that. Pastor Simeon, thanks a lot for joining as well from wow. We're global here today. And then one last comment real quick from Adam's Exploits, and then we're going to bring Valerie on real quick. Adam's Exploits shares a really good tip. Shut off Dropbox, iCloud, etc. before streaming.
Yes.
Great point.
That is a great point.
Hiccups, and you're doing your live stream, you're like, well, why does it 35 minutes in, why does it kind of pause? Because chances are you have Dropbox or iCloud or Time Machine or Google Drive running in the background. And they're designed so that if you add new files to a folder, they're checking things. Or the other thing they're doing is they're designed to check after a certain amount of time. So that's what could be causing that. And think of it like this. Everything you're doing on your computer is the broadcasting station. And then as you're putting it out on the internet, if you've got this Google Drive, like trying to also back up, it's trying to like scan your whole hard drive while you're trying to broadcast. So you want to pause all that stuff. I honestly would even quit those applications.
Yeah, just
for the time being. So, okay, let's go and bring on Valerie, Leticia.
Yeah, let's bring Valerie on.
Read through the comments. Yeah.
Hey, Valerie.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, nice. Well, I just started live streaming and wanted to do something where I am having individuals come on and they're sharing their stories with me, because during the pandemic, I found myself watching a lot of funerals because I enjoy understanding people's struggles and their triumphs. And so I wanted to do something like that. So jumped in, got started, but having an issue. I did a broadcast on Tuesday and I can hear the music in my headsets, but no one in the broadcast could hear the music.
Right.
On my intro as well as the exit. So I'm trying to figure out what happened or what I need to do to fix
Oh.
it.
So is
And
this
then
intro music or what? Is this intro music?
it is intro as
Okay.
well as the exit.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And then in addition to that, I was gifted this awesome Rode
Okay.
and
Pod mic, yeah.
wanted to be able to connect it directly to my MacBook. So
Yep.
of course I learned I needed to get the splitter. And so I purchased it, but for some reason it is still not connecting. So what I did was I purchased I think it's Moano, Moano board that
Uh-huh.
came with this microphone and stand. So
Yep.
that is what you're hearing me through. And I don't
Yeah.
really like it. And I'm trying to figure out
Yep.
how to regulate my voice.
Okay, so got a couple of questions there. Let's go back to your first question. So your first
Okay.
question was background music, right?
Yes.
So you're on a Mac. So we're using anything to pipe. So what you need to do is you need to pipe that sound into StreamYard or any software basically. So you need to pipe it into StreamYard. So what I would
Okay.
recommend in your case, there's a software, it's called Loopback. So basically you're going to
I
need
do
to,
need loopback.
yes, you need virtual
Okay.
cable management. So
Okay.
basically what you have happening right now is, like, for example, if I had Facebook open right now and I was hearing, so if I had Facebook open right now, let's say Leticia sent me a message, I hear the ping going on, right? But
Mhm.
my audience is not hearing, and they're not hearing it because it's not routing together. So what
Okay.
you have is you have Facebook on one channel, and you have in this case, your music on one channel, and you have StreamYard on another channel, and you need to dovetail them together.
Okay.
So that's where software like Loopback is going to help you with that. One thing, so I use Loopback myself. There are some free options. Let's say free. There are other options. There's one called Black Hole. I think that one actually might be free. Let me see if I get the link to that. So
Now,
Black
while you're
Hole.
looking at
Yeah.
that link, if
Yep,
I decided to go with loopback, do I also need to do the audio hijack?
So here's what I did. I bought the bundle.
Okay, that's what Kirk Nugent was telling me about,
Yep, I would totally
or
buy
I
the
heard it
bundle.
on his stream.
Yep. Yeah, Kirk's a friend of mine. Yeah. So I would recommend I'd recommend the bundle that they offer.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring up Loopback real quick just to show people how about this software. So this is Loopback. And so as you can see, I mean, even just this graphic's going to show you that. So you've got music. So this is your microphone, for example. This would be like, say you wanted to pipe in music from, again, also from a music standpoint, make sure you legally own the music and you have the rights to it, because a lot of people will they'll be like, oh, hey, I'm going to route Spotify into this, or I'm going to route like Apple Music. And what's going to happen is your stream will get muted. It might even get muted immediately.
Now, let me ask you a question about that, because I have a free download from SoundCloud. Does that matter?
It's all going to come down to the license for the music.
Okay.
Like I can't advise you on that because
Okay,
I don't even know that. Like I don't. It's a question we get a lot. I
Yes,
can't
we
advise
do.
necessarily because I haven't seen it, but you'd want to read through the terms. A lot of people, for example, they'll go to like an Envato or a site like that, and they'll buy like a personal license to the music, and then they're like,
that's what
they're
I'll
using
end
it for
up
their business. And I'm like, you got to make sure you get that business license.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. Like, for example, if you don't make any money in your business, you still have to have the business license. They don't care.
Okay.
So
Understood.
So I would recommend you getting Loopback. I just dropped a couple of links there, and then there's also the bundle option here. Actually, let me see if I can look at the bundle. So Loop, this company Rogue Amoeba, they make a bunch of really good apps. So like Audio Hijack is one where you could increase the audio quality that you download. There's, if you want to have a soundboard, so you want to be able to play sound effects. Farrago is another option. And then you've got Loopback, and then I don't think Sound Source is part of it. And you've got Piezo for like radio, I think. But the way this works is this. So like you basically set up your device and you say like, okay, I want, like, I'll give you the example with this. I have music from Apple, I have music from the soundboard, and I have my microphone, so me speaking. And the way they work is, this case, it's saying, hey, I want to route the USB mic and the Apple Music into this channel, and I want to route Farrago into my output channels.
Okay.
and you basically this is the virtual audio side. So it's saying I want to have it go here and then be able to come out as USB. So I want to be able to go here, bring in the music, and then have it all go out, for example. And then I want the music to go out through internal speakers and things like that. So it's a great app for that kind of thing. And then, as I mentioned, if you go into the store, I think, yeah, there's a bundle option here at the bottom.
Okay.
This one includes Audio Hijack, Loopback, Farrago, and Fission. And then you can also just buy their whole option. Now, one thing I will say about this company, they don't discount their products. So if you're waiting for a discount on it, they did like a discount a few years ago, and it was because they hit a milestone. It was a milestone of like, hey, we've been in business for like 15 years or something like that.
Wow.
And it was like the only time they did a milestone, a discount.
So we're another 15 years.
Yeah, I know, right? So I just want to tell people, because some people like they'll wait for that discount. And I'm like, no, you do get $70 basically if you buy the whole bundle. You get $70 off of what that would have cost to buy them separately. And then the other option is to get the ultimate podcast bundle, which the podcast bundle can be used for live streaming, including Audio Hijack, Loopback, Farrago, Fission for
Cool.
So
And then I understood that it's just a one-time payment.
it's a one-time payment, but they do release updates, and so there may be an additional update cost.
Okay.
At some point.
Okay.
So what I would do if it were me, this is what I would do. I would get the test drive bundle. So book some time on your calendar. Download this free bundle that they offer. Try it out, set it up, try it out on a test stream, like maybe stream to like a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, or an unlisted YouTube video. And then and at that point you can make sure that it works how you want it to work.
Okay.
And then make the purchase. That's what I
Okay.
would do.
So I need Loopback. And I'm not sure about the whole microphone situation. I have to figure out why I'm having difficulty connecting the Rode.
Okay, so basically, so the Rode you're using, I think, is the Rode Pod mic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it has an XLR connection, so it has similar connection to my mic. So it's using basically it's this actually right here. Sorry, so it's using this connector.
We
up
can't
here.
see you.
I can't.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Yeah,
Show it again.
there we go. Thanks a lot for thanks for the heads up. It's using this connector right here, which is the XLR connector. So both those mics have the same connector.
Yes.
So
Which is what I have.
So it should be a very simple setup. So you take your audio interface, you connect that to your computer via USB, and then off of that you connect the mic via the XLR mic into the interface.
Right.
And then in your computer, the only thing you need to do really is go into system preferences on a Mac. So you go to the Apple logo, go to system preferences, and then go to sound. And there's an input and an output you would set there. So like, for example, I'm using a Rodecaster Pro, an audio interface, and I have it set for my output and my input so that I hear everything and everything goes out. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I think I may need to change that.
That mic should totally work, like super, like, because it's the same connector. All you literally need to do is just get the mixer set up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your help.
Anytime. Do me a favor, if you like the show, just do me a favor. Feel free to join the Facebook group if you also haven't joined that.
I have.
And, just post some feedback about, if you like the show, we'd love to hear that. So
okay, perfect.
I want the team to hear that, So okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Very cool. I gotta say, this is awesome. We got some great questions today. I know we've got William has a question. Okay, so we got good. We got William and we've got Cam. I'm not sure who Cam 3 is, but I know that Cam 3 is there. They have questions as well. I want to just answer a couple questions real quick here. And I know we got about 20 minutes left, Leticia. I don't know how hard of a deadline you have.
Hard.
Okay. So okay, so let's just answer a couple. Let's just shoot through the questions real quick. So Britt Pearson was asked. Actually, no, I think we answered Britt's question. Actually, didn't we? Yeah, we did answer Britt's question about 10 people. Yeah, so you can do that.
Yeah, she came on.
April said, we were talking about Mike's rubbing its clothing. Yep, definitely check that out as well. Again, clothing is important. So it trumps. It trumps like what you wear. So for example, if somebody's wearing a necklace let's say you've got a whole bunch of beads and things like that. You know,
Yeah.
if you if you spend time watching live TV or other live streams, look at how people dress. They're not wearing these elaborate setups. So, for example, you're not miking somebody up that has a necklace on, and you're not putting the mic right there because that's going to immediately rub against that necklace. They might use a handheld microphone, for example, or a microphone that goes like this. So that way they're not dealing with the potential that they can rub against it. So clothing does matter. David, thanks a lot for the feedback. Stop saying like. I'll work on doing that. Let's see. Adam's exploits. Video is important. Audio is king. If you have social video and good content, people will watch. But if you have poor audio, they will leave. Excellent point.
That's right. That's very true. That's very true.
Pascal, thanks a lot for the very good StreamYard host. Anytime. That's what we're here for.
That's right.
Also, Rashonda has this, again, this is re-illustrating our point earlier. Showing up brings more opportunities.
That's right.
And that's
very true.
Doing the things, you know, it's doing the things that people want you to do. So, for example, if Leticia asked me to share something, or she asked me to be on her show, I want to make sure I'm helping her as well. I'm not just showing up and then expecting, oh yeah, I also want to now be on your future things, even though I didn't do any sharing or actually help you out. So,
yes, it's very important, guys. It is so important. Got to contribute to the show.
And then I want to bring up this question real quick from April real quick here. And then we're going to bring on Charlie here. His name's
Charlie. Yep.
I don't believe that guests are shy as much as it is they have an incorrect mindset and believing that what they have to share isn't of value. Goes back to the point we said earlier, Leticia. It's not about the fact that you've been live streaming the longest. It's about when you get into doing live streaming.
Yes.
So having that positive mindset, not worrying about the fact that there's already a show out there that has been on the air for X amount of years. I'll give you a great example of this. A daytime talk show. So how many of you, and I'm not necessarily dating myself here, but I'm just going to bring up, I don't watch a lot of TV, but
me either.
So you could have, I think it was Geraldo Rivera, Maury Povich,
Ricky Lake,
Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake. I think that's all Sally Jesse Raphael. I think I pulled that from a movie. So
Oprah
you have
Winfrey.
All talk shows, right?
Yep.
Oprah Winfrey as well. Yeah, right. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, Oprah
so
Winfrey. You
got all those talk shows. And here's the thing. Just because, hey, I want to start a talk show today, I'm not going to not do it because all of these other people already did it.
That's an amazing point. Yeah.
Drew Barrymore, I think, started a talk show. You know, you had Ellen DeGeneres a few years ago, for example, and they didn't let other people already doing it stop them from doing their own.
That's right. Oprah said it. She said her team was going crazy because all these other new shows were popping up and the shows that were there before she came on. And she's like, we can't look at them. We got to keep making sure what we're doing is getting better and better and better and better. And that's really, it's more about you bettering which I'm always worried about. How can I better the last time I did this show? You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to think about. Be in competition with yourself, because really that's all that matters.
Definitely. So let's do this. Let's bring on Charlie.
Charlie.
So go ahead and bring on Charlie, Leticia, and I'm going to scroll through the comments. Charlie,
hey,
thanks a lot for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
Good.
Great.
How are you? Are you using what phone? What phone are you using? Because it's super clear, by the way. And you can rotate your phone if you want to, because it'll fill the screen.
Yeah, okay. I'm really not sure if it will work, but I'm using an iPhone 11.
Nice. Looks really sharp.
Okay, good. So my question was regarding Camo.
Yeah.
Now, I participate in a UK. I'm based in Toronto, but I participate in a British model railway group out of Facebook, and I'll do a live broadcast every now and again. I've been doing it for about a month now, and trying to refine it, get the audio working, because it's always been a real pain with echo. And part of the problem was I wouldn't do the simple thing I would challenge it, and I would set up an iPhone 4, my iPhone 6, the iPhone 11, and an iPad, and run it all through my MacBook Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can imagine, I'd have echoes bouncing all over the place. I think I got that solved just about. And then I watched the show from Friday regarding camo. And this morning, I was up early and I thought, well, I'll try that. And I went live and I had a few people come on.
Mm-hmm.
But initially I had a problem with audio. But the biggest question is, how can I tell if the quality that it professes to provide actually comes across?
I'm not entirely. So I know it. So the app that he's talking about is it's called Reincubate Camo. It's a we had it on actually the show yesterday. During a Learn with StreamYard episode. So let me see if I can actually. I have it on my computer. Let me see if I can get it pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the software is software that enables you to use your smartphone as a webcam. So, for example, I could take my smartphone, I can put it on, like, say, a tripod like this, and then I can have it in front of me like this as I'm actually doing my live stream. Obviously, I'd reverse that. I'd have it, and I have the ability to then have StreamYard recognize my phone and use my phone's cameras. I know in the Reincubate Camo software, Charlie, there is an option in there to change the quality. So I don't know if you've checked that out. There's the free version and the paid version. And I think the paid version, I think, may allow you to adjust the quality. I would say
I
this.
wasn't aware
of
that. And that's a good thing to know, because on April the 5th, there'll be a 24-hour global broadcast, live broadcast of British model railway enthusiasts around the world. And I've got at least a 1 hour slot on the 5th of April. So I want to make sure that I'm making all the right choices in doing this presentation.
I will say this, it should work. So I had the software installed, but I'm not sure if oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry. I was looking up a different name. My bad. So let me look. So inside of the Reincubate Camo software, and let me actually see if I can share this. Okay.
If you can open up my YouTube channel, you'll see it there.
So, so here's the software actually. So this is the software. And if you're on the pro option, you'll probably want to go to the resolution. I think it is. I can't actually adjust this because I don't have the camera hooked in.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I think you just need to go into resolution and adjust it there. And I think you'll have the ability to switch between, I think, 720 and 1080.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would do. I would say this. I mean, you see how good your quality looks right now.
Yeah, that's good.
You should have equal quality with that.
Okay. All right.
So I think you're going to look great, because I did test this out myself, and I was using my mirrorless DSLR and I was using my smartphone, and I tested this out before we did the show yesterday, and I was amazed at how good the quality was. I mean, it was to the point where I couldn't even tell the difference. I was like, wow, this is really good. Okay. So I think you're going to be just fine. And if you have issues, just let us know.
Yeah. And one other quick question. While I'm doing a live broadcast, I will see on the StreamYard icons that I have X number of viewers or participants.
Yeah.
Now, is that only for the chat line? Because after the fact, when I go into YouTube and review it, I'll see multiple numbers of viewers.
Okay. So you're going to see, so here's the thing, you're going to see different numbers potentially. And that's because what'll sometimes happen is the platform, for example, like sometimes it takes time for it to catch up. Yeah. And then the other thing also is it depends on, like, if they're just seeing it, i.e. it's just showing up in their feed versus they're actually popping in for, like, 3 seconds or things like that.
Excuse me. Yeah.
So that's what I always look at. I mean, honestly, I always tell people the value is in the replay.
That's right.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, most of the people on this MRYCG Facebook group who do broadcast videos are now ported over to StreamYard.
Nice. Very nice. That's really good to hear.
Anyway, I enjoy it, and I try and catch most of your shows whenever I can, either live or recorded. I'm always open to learning new stuff.
Awesome.
Definitely. And it looks like you got a few fans here, by the way. We got just a couple of comments.
They're loving your accent.
So Cindy says, sounds like a lovely
everything.
Irish accent.
No. Across the water a little bit. I'm originally from Glasgow.
Nice. Very nice.
Awesome.
And Prairie Life, who has joined us before, wants to know, how do you like Camo? She downloaded it, but hasn't streamed with it yet.
Asking me, well, I think it's something that I'm going to be exploring further, definitely, because if it can enhance my productions, I'll go for it. And, just to give you an idea of the background, I think I made my first video 8 or 9 years ago when we rented a Chrysler convertible in Hawaii because I couldn't get a Ford Mustang. And I haven't broke that million subscribers yet. But I'm working on it.
Yes. Keep at it. You'll get there.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
A great pleasure.
And if you have any issues or questions, sorry, I'm saying issues. If you have any questions about Reincubate Camo, do me a favor. I dropped the link to the video.
Okay.
Leave us the question, put the questions in the comments there.
Yeah, we'll do.
And I'll do my best to either answer them, or I'll work with Aiden over at Reincubate Camo to get them to also jump in. So
okay, I appreciate your time and answering my queries.
Very welcome.
Anytime.
Thanks a lot for joining us.
Cheers. Bye for now.
Bye. Okay, so we got time for one last question and then a giveaway, by the way. And so what we're going to do two things. We're going to do two things at once here, actually. So first off, I'm going to show you what we're going to give away today. I'll let Leticia pull up what we're going to give away. And you're just going to put hashtag, and William, we're bringing your question in. You're going to be the last question. So put hashtag love StreamYard into the chat. And then Leticia, what are we going to give away?
You want to give away a mug today?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. We'll give away a mug.
So let's do a mug.
So we're going to give away a mug. Hashtag love StreamYard. Put that in the comments. Leticia's going to be taking down all of that. We're going to use Wheel of Names to show you how to pick a winner.
Wheel of Names.
But in the meantime, I'm going to bring on William. William, you're going to be our last question for the day for the show. Got 3 to 4 minutes at the most on this. So we'll bring in William. How we doing?
I am doing great. Thank you.
Ooh, nice sound.
So
thanks.
So this is William Brown. Do us a favor. Tell us what you stream about and then what your question is.
Right. What I stream about, I do what was a daily show. Now it's a 2-day show called One Word Conversations. I started about a year ago, and I'm at episode 328.
Nice.
And I blame that on StreamYard because it was so easy to get started. There was no excuse to not do the
That's right.
of everything. I realized that there was a lot of imperfect actions. So, some of my first couple of episodes were funny. But as you can see, my camera, it kind of works and it doesn't work. And so it was kind of funny that Charlie mentioned about the show yesterday about using your iPhone. And I was practicing it yesterday, and there was such a lag, and I was like, okay, I must be missing something. And so I was just trying to figure out how I can reduce the lag in the video so I can step it up a notch and with my production.
So I think the first thing is going to be look at your internet quality. So like, have you run a speed test on your internet? So like,
yes,
that's one of the first things. So what's your speed test? Like, let's figure out the upload speed, the download speed. Because it doesn't, like, regardless of if you're using a smartphone, a DSLR, and so forth, your internet speed, if you're broadcasting, it's going to be going from your computer. So if you don't have enough bandwidth, potentially, I'm wondering if there's some sort of bottleneck at that point. The other thing also, definitely restart your computer if you haven't done that in a while.
Got it.
It sounds so basic, but restart the computer.
Right.
I will say this because also it may be the resources. So like you may need to lower the resolution. Like if your computer I'm not sure what kind of computer you're streaming from, but what kind of computer are you using?
I have a Toshiba Windows 10. So I mean, I've had it for a while. I'm like looking for reasons to do something
I said
else.
this. I mean, I would try to, and Michael Daniels makes a good point here as well. Using wired versus wireless, yeah, that's an important thing as well. So try to hardwire into your router if you can. The other thing though would be like I would recommend maybe trying to lower the resolution. I will tell you, when I started streaming quite a few years ago, I was using a 2012, which was a great laptop at the time. And then as time has evolved, it also became slow at that point. And so when I upgraded to, like, I was noticing, okay, if I was in an area where I was not having strong internet, I lowered the resolution of my broadcast. So that's the first thing, because I was like, okay, if I'm using a machine that's not strong enough and then my internet's not always the best or wasn't the best, then I need to lower. I don't need to be trying to force, a high quality broadcast. I need to lower the resolution and then see if that fixes it. Yeah, that's what I would start with. Also, if you're using like reincubate camo, restart your device, do a hard reset on it. So just restart it to where like it basically clears out the gunk. A lot of people don't ever restart their phones. If it's running slow, close the applications. That's that's the other thing. Check how much memory you have on the device.
Yeah, that's
like
very
make sure you got enough
point.
memory, like i.e. make sure you have enough storage space. Because for example, your computer, your phones, all that sort of thing, they use some of that space.
Yeah.
Great.
So like, for example, if you're using a MacBook Pro, I always tell people like, hey, you need to have at least 25% free memory. Even if you have a 1 terabyte hard drive, you always need to keep space for it to do things. And if there's not enough, that could also be causing the lag. I have a feeling it's a video resource issue.
Got it. Okay.
But that's what I would do.
Great.
And as I mentioned, leave a comment on the video as well, and I can either answer it or I can get Aiden to also jump in and answer that as well.
Okay. Thank you very much. I thought I was very close to kind of figuring this out and look at my resources, but I just wanted to like stream, basically sing the praises of StreamYard.
Thank you.
I'm coming up on my year, almost 400 episodes, and it's because of the ease of use. And it's just the fun. I can't wait for all the different upgrades and things that you guys provide to make this not just an easy process, but a great process. So
absolutely.
Thanks.
Anytime.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Okay. Wonderful.
We'll see you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, William.
Bye. That was great.
So I got one last question here real quick. Actually, two comments real quick, actually. So another feature or another idea from Albert was restart the router. Yep. Very good point. So if you've never restarted your router, unplug the router, let it sit for probably about 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes at the most. Leave it completely unplugged. And then plug it back in. And then what you should notice at that point, it's going to come back up and it should just totally like clear out any kind of gunk. If you've never upgraded the router in a while, it's basically try to make it a little bit faster. If you've never upgraded your router, you may want to actually talk to your ISP and consider seeing if they'll give you an upgraded router. Sometimes they'll do it after a few years. Other times people always buy it. They buy their own router and don't actually rent the router. So that's a good point. And then one last question from Rosalind. Can you explain what you mean by then correct? I have the same question regarding Facebook invite or StreamYard invite. So Rosalind, I'm not sure exactly what you mean there.
I think she was mentioning that she said earlier that she was trying to schedule events through StreamYard. I think you mentioned, Rosalind, and you was wondering, should you give them the Facebook link to watch the video or the StreamYard link? So the StreamYard link is normally the invite guest. So if you don't want people on as a guest, then you don't share that link, because then you're going to see a bunch of people popping up at the bottom of your on your end of StreamYard. But as far as inviting them to watch it on Facebook, if you schedule the event in StreamYard and then to get streamed onto Facebook. And on Facebook, if you go to the post where you're going to stream the stream on, there's like 3 dots if you're on your phone on the top left hand top right hand corner, sorry. And there's it says copy link, and that's the link you will give for your viewers to watch the show when it's time to air. Okay. Or if you want to, like, I normally, when I'm doing a show, I want my traffic to go to YouTube. So I will schedule, even though I'm streaming my show on Facebook, Periscope, and all those places, I want the main traffic to go to YouTube. So I will send out to my email list the link to the actual YouTube live video that I'm going to be streaming on. I hope that makes sense.
Yep. No, very good points. Yeah, you definitely need to, it's a bit of a process where I'll work on trying to get an article or something out on that, but
yeah.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is, as Leticia mentioned, we're doing a quick giveaway here. We're going to, it's a StreamYard mug, right?
Yep, StreamYard mug.
Let me stop William, reducing video lag. Yeah, well, I think it's a resolution issue. Or a resolution issue, like i.e. it's set too high and your internet can't handle it, or it's a resource issue, meaning your computer doesn't have enough video RAM to be able to process that enough. So Rosalind, just shoot shoot
us a message.
Yeah, shoot us just private message, and we'll work with you on that. Okay,
it makes sense in my head.
Leticia, no, it's a bit of a process. Like, you have to do things, like, you definitely don't want to give them the invite link. I'll tell you that. You don't want to give them the StreamYard invite link, because that means everybody who attends that event will come into your backstage area. You don't want that. You want them to go to the Facebook event, and the Facebook event would be, you create the event so you create the broadcast on StreamYard. You then go to Facebook, create an event, and then you actually can paste like, if you click on view on Facebook in StreamYard, it'll take you to your Facebook.
It will take you there.
Event.
Yep.
Copy that link and then go into your event and put it in there. That's all you really should have to do. So, okay, I'm going to bring up Wheel of Names. So we got lots of names here today. So Leticia's going to, or Wheel of Names actually is going to draw a winner.
You ready?
One quick question. Yeah. Yep. Go ahead. When you're ready.
Go ahead. Okay, let's do it now.
Okay. Yep. And we're using Wheel of Names. It's got some sound effects. Pretty cool. Hopefully that doesn't get muted. I'm going to mute it.
I didn't mute it. No, I didn't mute it.
Okay. So who's our winner? America English. Okay. So America English, you won a StreamYard. Is that who it pulled?
Huh?
Is that right, Leticia? Did America English
a mug.
So
I'm just trying to find
English,
this comment.
Congrats, you won a StreamYard mug. I'm going to have you email marketing@streamyard.com. Just reference this show. Just say live stream reviews. American English with this guy. Great. Congrats, American English. Please email marketing@streamyard.com. And then put in the subject line, live stream reviews, giveaway, winner, episode 11.
Yes.
So awesome. And then what we'll do is we'll get that shipped out to you. One last question that I want to answer real quick, and then we're going to wrap things up. John, if you want to join and have your show reviewed, so you can just email marketing@streamyard.com. Put in the subject line, just say like live stream reviews, show review. In the email, just put a link to your show, and then we'll do our best to check it out. And then what we'll do, Leticia, maybe what we'll do is we might even like hold it till next week, and then we can bring it on and whatnot. So
we can do that.
With that, I want to thank everybody for joining. This has been a really fun episode. I know we went a couple minutes over. Hopefully Leticia's done that at me for this one.
No.
So, but yeah, so this has been fun. We're gonna be back next week, right?
Next week we'll be back, and the week after that, I think D and Dan are going to do their YouTube reviews.
Yeah. So next week, what is next week? Let's see. I gotta pull up the calendar. April 3rd, I think. Right?
Yeah. This month went by so fast. Oh my god.
So April 3rd, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, live stream reviews with myself, Christian Kirsevich, and my co-host Leticia Campbell. And so basically just bring your questions. If you have a specific show that you want us to review, do us a favor. We'll do the same thing. We'll have you put it in the comments, and we'll do our best to bring you on, have you talk about it, and review it. But with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we will see you all next Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's
Thanks
right.
a lot, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.